Hey guys, Mix here, and in today's video, we are back with the free pit bike build series. Here it is. All of you guys have been commenting where it is, what's happening with it. Is it gone? It is not gone. This build series is far from over. We still need to make this thing street legal. So, I ran into a big issue, not big, just an issue. I was recording a video with it like a month ago, and I was putting on all these street legal mods, and as you guys know, the sprocket on this is super worn out, like really bad. The chain skips like crazy. It sounds awful. So I ordered a new sprocket for it, and when that came, I went to take off the old sprocket, and the bolts on there were absolutely impossible to take off. So I didn't want to do any further damage to them by rounding them out or anything, so I waited, and then I tried again and again over and over, and nothing was working, and then they began to round out. So I'm like, well dang, we got an issue. So I tried to drill them out, which didn't really work. Broke a couple of my drill bits, and that metal was just like insanely hard on those bolts. But up until a few hours ago, progress was made for the first time in a month on the pit bike. So as you guys can tell, the rear alignment is mint on it right now, and that is because I have the axle slid out, and because of that, I was working with the sprocket, and as you guys can tell, it is off. I just need to, unjam it between the swing arm and the rear rim. But what I did is I actually was able to unscrew 3 out of the 4 of the bolts that were in there, and the other one was rounding out. I got lucky with those 3 that were coming out, so I just went total, full-out destruction on that bolt, and I was able to drill it in all different sorts of directions to get it out. So here are the 4 bolts, and I don't know if you guys can tell which one was the one I drilled, but if you chose this one, you were correct. I drilled it out from there, but it wasn't going completely through, so I just went totally bananas on that, and it came out. The rest of the bolt is all along the rim there. But that is why, all because of that one little tiny sprocket, held up the build for a month. But that is no more. This build will begin once again today. So guys, let's get started on putting on that new sprocket, getting this thing back up and driving, or riding I should say. And I have a few parts here that I need to put on in order to make this thing street legal. So I have the license plate bracket, brand new nice sprocket, super excited to put that on. Then we have the rear taillight and directionals, which you guys have seen, these 2 parts on the last video, but I never got to installing them because of that issue. And also I want to try and make my own headlight out of this. Now this light obviously is not a headlight, but this thing is insanely bright. Oh my gosh. And I just want to be able to have a light on here for night riding and everything like that. So first step I want to do is get this thing all straightened out again by taking off that rear sprocket, putting on the new one, and then we'll continue on from there. Alrighty, so the sprocket is back on with 2 of the old worn out bolts, and I have a reason for that. They're not tightened on there, it's just on there for now, but we have a bigger issue. So this isn't a gigantic issue. This is my fault. I lost the spacers that go between the axles, the ones that go here and between there. I lost those, nowhere to be found. I'm kind of not that upset about it because I needed a new axle anyway. So if you guys remember far back in the beginning of this build series, you may remember that I could not get the axle nut onto the axle. And that is because the threads on the end of that axle are completely shot. It's probably from like hitting it with a hammer or something, but all the threads on the end of that are all like smushed in and nothing threads onto there. So I feel like this happened for a reason because I used to ride this thing around with like a half screwed on axle and it really wasn't that safe. So I need a new axle anyway. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and order one, and I'll catch you guys back in a few days, which will only be like a couple seconds for you, when we have our new axle. Also in today's video, we're going to be hooking up the rear brakes because in this little hole, there's supposed to be a little like spacer with a hole through it. For example, I'll come over here to the DRZ and see this one has that little spacer in that hole, and then the whole rod goes through it. But I guess when I was taking off the tires on the pit bike, I didn't see that fall out. So I'm missing that part, but today we're going to fab up our own one. So I found this little spacer and it fits into the hole, which is good. But I need to drill a hole through it, and then hopefully we can get it to work, and then we will be able to have our rear brakes work. And then also, we're probably going to be either cutting into the front plastics, which kind of kills me because it's a really nice front plastic, or be mounting a headlight right onto it. But in the meantime, let's start unboxing our newest package, and then we'll get to installing them. All right, so let's open this thing up. Dang, even came with a keychain. That's sick. Alrighty, so here is what I ordered. A super high quality license plate bracket. So this thing is super nice quality, and what it does is it mounts onto your axle nut, and then it kind of just goes like that, and it's a vertical license plate bracket. The quality on this is super nice, so I'm really excited to mount this thing up. So it'll go something just like that. So that'll definitely look cool. What I'm going to do first, before anything, is hook up the brakes, because when I install the whole brake light, it uses a pressure, I guess, sensor. Once that sensor is pushed down, then the brake light will come on, so it's good to have the brakes hooked up first. Let's get started on fabricating up that little spacer for the brakes. Then once that's done and the brakes are all functioning, then we'll get to the lights. So since I don't have a vise, I'm making my own. So I have a vise grip, clamp it onto the table. Now I'm holding down the other vice grip, which is holding the spacer. Then I should be able to steadily drill into the spacer. So let's see if this works. So I just finished drilling the hole and it came out really good. It's not exactly straight, but as long as it can fit through this rod, then that's all that really matters. So let's slide it in now and see how it works. I just gotta drill the hole a little bit bigger and then it should fit. All right, so it's a little bit bigger now and it should fit better. All right, so it's in the first side, can't get it through the second one, so I gotta make now the back a little bit bigger. All right, take 3, let's try this again. There we go, we are through. So now I just take the little tensioner, thread it onto the rod. All right, so the brakes are all hooked up. What I'm gonna do quick is just test them out quick, just so it feels good. But I gotta hurry because it looks like it is about to pour. So over there we got blue skies, and then on top of me we got big old storm clouds. So let's test this out quick before I get poured down on. All right, so the brakes work amazing. The whole tire locks up. I just gotta add a spring onto that little latch right there just so it comes back up. Other than that, it is good. Yo, how you going?
Good.
Nice.
I'm trying to make a path through the sand.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. If you follow me, you'll see it's easier to get to.
Alright. Alright, see this trail. Dylan was making a path, he said. Oh yeah, I see that. Ooh, I see that. Definitely way easier. Yeah. Thing's a little hard to shift, to be honest, but I definitely got to do an oil change on this soon. It's been probably like 8 months since I've done an oil change on this, but thing's a trooper, keeps going no matter what. Oh! You know it's not a trail day when someone goes down. The Jays. Oh!
How did you do that?
I slid out. I downshifted and
And it kicked out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang!
Oh.
If it wasn't so muddy, I wouldn't care. But you know what? I'm already dirty.
What?
I'm already dirty, so I might as well just send it.
Yeah.
What the heck? You guys see that? Definitely needs an oil change soon. Yeah, it's getting kind of hard to shift. It's a little worrying. Yep, see, it's stuck down right now. God, sounds like I'm driving a Lamborghini back here. Those backfires are crazy. And a lot of people hate on Two Brothers exhausts just because, like, apparently there's like a thing with fake carbon fiber. Oh, almost again! As I was saying, there's a thing with like Two Brothers or whatever that they use like fake carbon fiber for their exhaust or something like that. I don't know. I mean, this one I think doesn't have any carbon fiber on it. Maybe the tip. But honestly, I don't care if it has fake carbon fiber or not because this thing just sounds so good and it adds a lot of power to them. So it's not the cheapest exhaust, but I mean that sound that you get from it is nice. I mean FMS and FMF and all of them like that are, you know, nice as well. Oh. Hey, a little bit of air.